Welcome to Haas's Kitchen. Today I've got a good one for you. Do you ever worry about cooking meat? You know, if you undercook it, it's raw and you might make people sick. If you overcook it, it's dry and no one wants to eat it. So how do you cook perfect meat every time? Well, my solution and what I've been preaching for years is you need a good meat thermometer. There are instant meat thermometers and there's wired meat thermometers, and we're going to talk about all of them. If you find this video helpful, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. It's the beginning of November 2024. So we've got Thanksgiving coming up. People are stressed about cooking the turkey. Then you've got Christmas roasts. I don't want to overcook the prime rib or undercook it. Then you start getting into the spring and the summer and you're grilling chicken. Is the chicken done? Is it raw? Is it shoe leather? Or the bratwurst? Are they done? The best way to know when things are done is to have a meat thermometer. Now let's get into it. Now to get started, if I could only have one meat thermometer, it would be an instant read meat thermometer. And I'm a big fan of a company called Thermoworks. I have 6 of their thermometers, and the 2 instant reads that I use now are their pro model is called the ThermoPen 1. It's around $110 unless you can get it on sale, and it's excellent. You can get readings in about 1 to 2 seconds. Their kind of beginner model is called the ThermoPop. It's around $35, and it's excellent as well, but it takes about 3 to 5 seconds to get a reading. Both of these have won America's Test Kitchen Award for great thermometers. And what we're going to do now is I've got some glasses here. I've got tap water, ice water, and hot water, so you can see how fast you get a reading on these. So this should be about 1 to 2 seconds. There we go, 72 degrees. And this one, you can see it takes just a little bit longer. Now let's go to the ice water. 1, 2, and we're at 42 degrees. This one. That took about maybe 6 or 7 seconds to get there. And now let's go to the hot water. Again, about 2 seconds, 123. Let me turn the backlight on this. 1. That took about 6 seconds. So you can see they're both very accurate. They're going to come up with about the same number, and they are all calibrated at the factory. It's just a matter of how much you want to pay and how quickly you want to get your readings. Now let's move on to a wired thermometer. What's the benefit of this? Thanksgiving turkey. Because literally you have this oven-safe wire. You stick the probe into the breast. You set the alarm for 160 degrees. You go watch football. When the alarm goes off, your turkey's perfectly done. I mean, it's so easy. Never undercooked, never overcooked. So there's a couple different ones I want to talk about. This one's great. It's about $40 or so. It's called the Chef Alarm. It's a combination timer and wired meat thermometer, and it comes with a nice little case, and it comes with a little card that gives you recommended temperatures. And also, let's say you're frying chicken or something. It also comes with this nice little hook, so you can kind of stick that right on a pan, and it'll keep the temperature of the oil for you. So that's called the Chef Alarm. I do have another model. This is called the Smoke, and this has 2 probes, so 2 wires, and it's meant for smoking out on your grill or things like that. So you can have 2 different probes and 2 different pieces of meat, and it comes with a little Bluetooth unit that you can bring in the house. The range is up to 300 feet, so you don't have to keep going out and checking on the grill. But for a lot of beginners, there's one I don't own, but my sister owns. It's called the Dot, which here's a photo of it. And this one is super simple. There's 2 numbers. It's the current temperature of the meat, and it's the temperature that you want. Super easy to use, and the Dot's only $35 as well. And I've got links to all these in the description below. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to show you, let's pretend this chicken breast is your Thanksgiving turkey, and I'm going to show you how to use a wired thermometer. And then also, we're going to pan fry these chicken breasts here, and I'll show you how I use an instant read thermometer to make sure I don't overcook the chicken. So I'm going to show you some of the numbers on this Chef Alarm here. That number right there, the 73, that's the current temperature of the probe. The low alarm, I usually set at 32. That doesn't come into play very often. But where you want this high alarm, I have that set for 160. So this thing is going to beep when it hits 160 degrees. I'm going to turn the alarm off so I hear it, And then on the bottom, there's a timer, which we're not going to use. But so it's very easy to use, just a few different buttons you have to press. So then you plug the probe in, you take the probe, and we're pretending this is our turkey breast. I'm just going to get the tip of that probe into the middle of the breast like that, nice and easy. So now you can see the probe is now at 53 degrees. And I'm going to shove the chicken into the oven. And I can go watch football or do whatever I want. When that thing goes off, I know I'm at 160 and my chicken breast is perfectly cooked. Now let's see how to use an instant read thermometer when I'm cooking chicken cutlets on a skillet. So I've got some clarified butter that's been heating up in a pan, and I'm just going to put some chicken breasts in there. We're going to let them cook for a little while, and then we'll start checking the temperature. And again, I want these done at 160. So you can see the meat thermometer is doing its thing. The chicken in the oven is up to 75 degrees. We don't have to worry about that at all. And then over in the pan, my first side is done. Got a nice little golden brown on the bottom. We're going to flip these, and then in a few minutes, I'll start taking their temperature and see where they're at. The chicken breasts have been cooking for a little while, so let's take their temperature. And so we may get different readings just because it's hard to get the exact same spot of the chicken. But here's the Pro model. Stick it in there, 1, 2 seconds, 144 degrees. And then here is the Thermo Pop. I'll try to get the exact same spot. Right there. $141 degrees. And that took about 5 seconds to get there. So we'll let these go a little bit longer. All right, it's been a couple more minutes. Let's see where we're at. Right down in there. We are at 164. Okay, done. And I'll check it with this one too. 164. So let's get these off. There you go. I know this chicken's perfectly cooked, and because I know the temperature was 164. Now we're just going to wait on the other chicken that's in the oven. I let the chicken breast rest for a few minutes, the ones that were in the skillet. Now let's cut into it and see how we did. Look at that. Nice and juicy, nice and tender. It's going to be a delicious chicken breast. Now we're still waiting for that one to finish up, and then we'll be back in a minute. There we go. Our thermometer is just at 160 degrees. So we know that chicken is perfectly cooked, and I'm going to take it out of the oven. All right, I'm going to take the chicken out of the oven. I did unplug the cord from the base of the thermometer. Put this up here. And this company, Thermoworks, they also make these really nice heat-proof silicone pads where you can carry hot things with it, or if you have something hot you want to put on a table, you can just set it on there and it'll protect the table for you. So we're going to let that rest for a couple minutes. I'll cut into it, and then we'll wrap things up. All right, here's our chicken breast we had in the oven. Let's cut into it and see how we did. Same thing, nice and juicy. That's going to be a really good tasting chicken breast. I don't know if I would generally bake a chicken breast or not, but my example was if you want to do it for a turkey breast. And you can see you just got to put the probe in, set it to 160, and you're good to go. So here's all of my Thermoworks thermometers. Both of these are probably about 10 years old. These are the old models. And then I've upgraded to the newer models of kind of the same thermometers. And the 10-year-old ones, they still work. They're good quality items. So if you want a wide meat thermometer or an Inst meat thermometer or any of these other things, I've got some links to Thermoworks below. And hopefully you found this helpful. And hopefully you will get a meat thermometer and nail your Thanksgiving turkey this year. See you next time on Haas's Kitchen.